I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, and I wrote a medical malpractice book, 75 till April of 80, and on April Fool Day I had antifreeze in me and should have died. I had worked for doctors, and I was living in Marietta doing the book. It's on mind control and making deaths appear of natural cause. Way back then, they could create deaths with mind control or make persons commit suicide, which is really murder by mind control. Or they can create illnesses such as cancer, stroke, etc., and make it look of natural causes. And I was writing about Warren and Rosina Matthews, pathologists who were gunned down themselves in Cobb County, Marietta. They worked at Piedmont Hospital, where Dr. Larry McDonald, U.S. Congressman I wrote about, worked. I had him in the medical malpractice book and a bunch of other people, and I thought it was because of the book, the names in it, that the antifreeze was put in me and all that. Later, the plane carrying Larry McDonald was shot down. It veered into Russian airspace in August the 31st of 83, en route from Juneau, Alaska to Seoul, South Korea. And this is part of mind control. It's so mass now. Edward Snowden just touched the tip of the iceberg on it, national security, and the agencies that are doing this. But I'm just going to say this. I was flown out to Flint, and he even says here, I knew who was responsible for his shooting. And I want to say this. I'm really putting this up now about the twin that supposedly committed suicide. His name's SAWYER, and he's a twin to Sullivan. And the mind control murders I've written about, told about, they were deliberately done in patterns because mind control's invisible. I didn't find out about the real reason for all this until, it wasn't just the book, until after 83. And I found out I'd been kidnapped from Buckingham Palace, and my real name is Margaret Ann Windsor. My father's Edward VIII, who legally was married to the sister Claudia O'Keeffe, to American artist Georgia O'Keeffe. So my father was never married to this American spy. This is a double. They're buried at Frogmore, Windsor Castle. I don't know where my mother and father. He was illegally taken down. It was all a lie, a 99-year seal put on it. His own brother, George VI, who's illegal, Elizabeth is illegal, helped take him down and helped kidnap me, Victoria II, legal heir. Now, this sorry man, her father, which she's continued it, sold out Great Britain, illegal treaties, and a 99-year seal on my kidnapping and my father's takedown in his marriage to my mom. He never married this woman, for God's sake. Here is my uncle. In 39, the year I was born, I was brought over to the States in 41. Roosevelt appointed Joe Kennedy ambassador to England. All I know is I was, at this point, I was brought to this family, and this is a glossed-over picture that I got not long ago. It was sent to me. This is me. This was in about 43, and I was brought there in 41. This is Lina Dempsey. She had twins, Peggy and Carl Dempsey, born out of wedlock. She killed them, and the family covered it up. And so I had the name of Peggy, the dead twin. Here are this is Carl, one of the twins, and this is Peggy. That's the name I had to use. I still have to use. My real name is Margaret Ann Windsor, Victoria II, heir to the British Crown. Now then, what I'm going to put on here about the murders, I wrote about Larry McDonald in the book. Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville while I was doing the book, living in Marietta, Georgia, and I told that on here, I think. This is one of the shootings, and I'm not going to get in. There's lists of them. He was a psychiatrist, finished school at college at Virginia Tech, Blacksburg, went on somewhere else and became a psychiatrist. He's what I believe is on death row for the Fort Hood shootings. And this is, he's dead, Timothy McVeigh, and he's told everybody that the U.S. Army put a chip up him. So he was under mind control. And there's other synchronicities and all this that goes into it. And here's this Caroline Kennedy, the daughter of JFK, who helped in what happened to me. So I won't say any more about that. This is my son, Mark and Scott, and they're heir to the crown after me. And remember I said I was brought over and given the name of a twin. This is Gabby Gifford, and she was a congresswoman from Tucson, Arizona, and that was the mass shootings there in Tucson. And her husband is a twin, Mark Kelly, and he's a twin to Scott Kelly, and both of them are astronauts. And I believe Scott's going to be up on the lab and doing tests for a year. Anyway, I wanted to put that in because these are done in patterns, these murders. And Philip, I want to get back to this one now, and then I'm going to stop. Philip Sullivan is someone I grew up with, and I loved very dearly. So the Sullivan is coming from the twins. That's kind of obvious where they're getting the twin. And Sullivan is his name. And the Sawyer is, this gets so preposterous and nothing's funny. My life has been nothing but a living hell. You've got Sawyer, the name Sawyer is far back, and it's on this the birth certificate somewhere. But anyway, Terry Sawyer was a friend of mine who actually gave me this video so I could upload this. A lot doesn't work for me. And I had to go to social media, and I've put it up on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube. I've got a bunch of them if you care to go back and look at them. So I guess that's about all I need to say. I grew up with Philip. Let me say this. Terry Sawyer, I hope he's alive and well. I don't. But what's happened is they've used patterns in the murders. And I put on this the other day. I got kind of triggered into trying to leave Roanoke because people want me dead for telling the truth, really, and who I am, Margaret Ann Windsor. Because if I were able to go home, I mean, she's got my money, and they've given away the treaties are all illegal. They've signed after, well, probably before 41. But I was triggered into trying to leave and get over into Tennessee because I got phone call, etc., that I was going to be killed. So anyway, it's how they were going to kill me. So anyway, I got a cab, and he took me. I've got the copy of the receipt. I've put it up on Instagram and Facebook and everything before. But on the way back, he veered off into... oh, don't let me forget it, New River Valley. Oh, my goodness. It's an Irish name. I'm going blank now, I guess. Anyway, it's a little small, Dublin. And anyway, I ended up coming right back to Roanoke. He brought me on back here. But a couple of days later, and this is what happens, and it happens whether I'm in a town or not. It can be in California or whatever, the murders. The odd thing is the ones that the media is putting up, there's a lot of murders happen that aren't done with mind control or done in patterns. But anyway, the little boy was found in the sewer in Dublin, and his name was... Terry Thomas, but his first name was Noe, and that has to do with the name of an FBI agent that up in Grottoes when I was up there said that they made it so ludicrous. Everybody knew I was telling the truth. It gave them a chance to help me or walk away, and they all walked, most of them. So I don't know if this clears anything up. I am very sorry about the twins dying, or the one dying. Sawyer, But anyway, did I say that about Terry Sawyer? Yeah, what they took from the little boy's name when he died